This is a 1997 Bandai Carddass Charizard. Would you guess that it is expensive? Well, if so, you would be wrong because this one is a replica. Of course it is a Charizard, an expensive Pokemon, so that is why it is being faked, right? Sadly, that is not the only card in the Carddass sets that gets faked. Every card you are looking at right now are also fake cards. The reason I want to talk about these is because there are an abundance of replicas out there. When I got back into collecting earlier this year, I purchased dozens of fakes before doing proper research on what market values and what the cards actually look like. I was thinking I was getting a good deal, but now I just have a stack of fakes sitting in my house. Here on my desk are some of the fake 1996 and 1997 cards. Let's look at the 1996 ones first. These are the original Pokemon cards ever created, coming out a little before the Pokemon TCG. Let's start with the most obvious one, the Alakazam, which has a different prism or hollow pattern than the rest. The diamond pattern is not on any authentic Carddass cards. Another obvious point is the size difference. When putting an authentic Carddass on top, it is smaller than the replica in height and width. Authentic Carddass cards are roughly 80-ish% the size of Pokemon TCG cards. So if you ever have a TCG card or another Carddass card with you, you could check the size if buying in person. Let's grab a card from over here, an O Rarity Magikarp, and see how they do when stacked on top of each other. As you can see, they are the same size. For reasons that I will never understand, they did not make the replicas the same size as the authentic Carddass cards. Now, let's see how the authentic Alakazam looks on it. The authentic one is a little smaller, with some of the edge of the TCG card sticking out. If you get used to the feeling of a Carddass card, you would be able to tell a fake one just by touching it and feeling it. They are made of a different stock than regular playing or trading cards. The replica ones feel too stiff and off, while authentic ones feel malleable and weak, as they are very flexible cards and bend rather easily. On the back side, there are two circles. One is a bluish green and the other a pinkish red. These are for the original Pokemon games, Red and Green, which released in Japan. Most replicas will have a single color, and even that color will be off, not exactly matching the color that it is supposed to match. As you can see here, it just has the one single color. These two Articunos have different shades of green and gray silver for their background, and even the Pokemon themselves are a little different, such as the bodies being a slightly different blue and the wings also being a slightly different blue. The same goes for the two Venusaur that I have, with the fake one being darker and the background where it's harder to see. The Pokemon themselves are also a little bit different, such as with the Articunos. If we flip them over and look at the back of the cards, you can see that the authentic one is more faded and the replica is more of a green. Now, to be fair, the authentic could just be faded, with this card being almost 30 years old. By the way, if you've made it this far into the video, please like and subscribe and comment down below on maybe what you might want to see in another video. And if you haven't enjoyed this video so far or found it informative, hit the dislike button twice. As you just saw, this Charizard was the same size as the TCG Magikarp when it should be smaller. When looking at the Charizard closer, its border is much larger, maybe twice as large, as the real one, and the green on the borders is too dark. The prism color is more of a dark orange-red rather than a light fire-looking orange-red. On the back, pretty much all of the colors are wrong, but the easiest one to see is the Charizard itself. On the Eevee, it is the same problem as with the Charizard. The borders are too large, the green too dark, the prism color too much of a dark orange compared to the Authentic's lighter orange, and the color of the Eevee is also off.